Hello, my name is Kushator and I welcome you all to this fat loss training video. A little to know about me, I'm an optimal fat loss coach and a ISSA certified nutritionist who has been operating in this industry from half a decade now. And I've helped over 400 busy working professionals just like yourself to lose weight and get to their dream physique without doing hours of cardio and without following unsustainable and strict diets. In this fat loss training video, I'll be sharing with you 4 steps fat loss training principles that would help you to lose at least of 8 to 15 kgs in next 3 months without doing torturous amounts of cardio and without eating strict and boring and bland foods. At this moment, I'm sure you must be wondering that why I'm sharing you this fat loss principles and secrets. So during my corporate days, because of my hectic schedule, I had also gained a lot of weight and ended up looking like this, what you can see on the screen right now. And this literally shattered my self-confidence. And this was the time when I started to learn more and more about how fat loss works and how nutrition science works. I immediately started to apply these techniques on myself, and trust me, the results were unreal. I started losing body fat percentage in the most sustainable manner, and trust me, this was all possible while I was eating my basic and staple food. So before I move forward and tell you these principles, let me tell you that this video training is super beneficial for people who are business owners or busy professionals and who want to lose fat permanently without doing crash dieting or without doing torturous amount of cardio. This is also for people who have previously tried crash diets and unsustainable diets and who have failed in it. This will also be beneficial for people who have high body fat percentage or health complications like fatty liver, PCOS or thyroid. This video training will also benefit you if you don't feel confident because of your overall weight or if you feel super lethargic throughout the day while you are doing your overall activities. And here's the last and the most important thing. This is for people who literally want to diet for the last time and don't want to rebound on the weight which they have lost during the fat loss phase. And this is what will happen if you watch the video completely. You will get a clear direction about losing weight sustainably. You will not have to rely on crash and fancy diets. You will feel energetic and positive. Moreover, your health parameters will get better. And again, as I said before, once you lose weight following these 4 principles, you will never gain this weight back again in your life. And at this moment, if you think that I'm making random claims, here are the 450 individuals who have worked with me and lost a minimum of 8 to 20 kgs over a period of 3 months while eating their ghar ka khana and without doing torturous amount of cardio. Let's take an example of my previous client Simran and Niranjan. Now Simran is based out of Canada and she is a busy working mom. She managed to lose around 8 kg of her post-pregnancy weight while eating her ghar ka khana because she is a Punjabi and she used to eat like chole kulche and parathe, all of this. And this was her before and after picture which you can see on the screen. If you take another example of Niranjan, he is based out of Bangalore and he managed to lose around 17 kgs. All this without even going to gym and with eating his staple foods because he's a South Indian, right? So he managed to eat his idli, dosa, all these South Indian staple foods so that he does not have to compromise on his taste buds. And you can see the before and after picture on your screen right now. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here are the 4 principles of fat loss, which if implemented properly would help you to lose fat permanently and never gain it back. Principle number 1, crack the metabolic code. So generally when people think about losing weight, they have a perception that they need to eat very less food. And because they are so motivated at the start of the process, they start doing it. But ultimately after a few days, because their energy level dips in, the entire process becomes unsustainable and they are not able to follow it. If you go a little deeper and understand that why it becomes unsustainable is because you cannot eat less food for a very long period of time. And once your motivation level dips in, you go to the binge eating mode and then the cycle keeps on repeating. Now, if this makes sense to you, here are a few crash diets or unsustainable way of losing weight, which I'm sure most of the people who are watching this video might have tried at least once when they were trying to lose weight. On the top of the list is keto diet. Now, being an Indian, आपके लिए impossible है to do a keto diet because half of the Indian food that you eat, like दाल चावल रोटी सब्जी, सब में carbohydrates होता है and it is impossible for you to restrict for a long period of time. Now, because motivation इतना ज़्यादा होता है, आप start तो कर लेते हो, but when you visit a friend or probably when you go to a vacation, आपके लिए possible नहीं है low carb खाना खाना. और बहुत लोग के energy levels भी drop हो जाते हैं जब वो keto diet follow करते हैं तो. इसीलिए it's impossible for you to sustain it for a longer period of time. You will definitely lose some amount of weight when you do this because आपके carbohydrates बंद हो गए, but कुछ टाइम के बाद जब आप carbohydrates खाओगे you will again gain your weight back, and I'm sure कि ये बहुत लोगों के साथ हुआ है जो ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं. Second on the list is intermittent fasting. ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा पॉपुलर अप्रोच है in terms of losing weight because बहुत सेलिब्रिटीज लोग फॉलो करते हैं और बहुत ही कूल लगता है कि आई एम डूइंग इंटरमीडिएट फास्टिंग, बट अगेन दिस इज ऑल्सो समथिंग दैट इज अनसस्टेनेबल. देखो, वेट लॉस का साइंस बहुत सिंपल है. जब आप कैलोरी डेफिसिट में खाते हो तो आप फैट लॉस कर लेते हो. नाउ जब आप बहुत ज्यादा मोटिवेटेड हो, आप अपना ब्रेकफास्ट स्किप करोगे, 16 आवर्स का फास्ट करोगे. बट लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ पर्सन हु स्टेज इन नाइट शिफ्ट, या एक इंसान जिसको सुबह जल्दी उठना पड़ता है. फॉर दैट पर्सन इट इज इम्पॉसिबल टू डू अ फास्टिंग बिकॉज उसके लिए फास्टिंग का पीरियड बहुत ज्यादा अनसस्टेनेबल हो जाएगा. या लेट्स से फॉर अ पर्सन हु गोज टू अ जिम, वो एम्प्टी स्टमक उतना अच्छा ट्रेन नहीं कर पाएगा. एंड हेंस जब आप ये करते हो तब तक आपका फैट लॉस होता है, और जैसे आप वापस ब्रेकफास्ट की कैलोरीज इंट्रोड्यूस कर देते हो एंड यू स्टार्ट ईटिंग योर ब्रेकफास्ट, यू री इंट्रोड्यूस दोस कैलोरीज एंड यू गेन द वेट बैक. इसीलिए intermittent fasting is not sustainable for a lot of people, and because of this it is on the second of the list जहां पे you should not be trying it अगर आप sustain नहीं कर पा रहे हो इसको. Third on the list is doing low carb diet. This is very common and this is very similar to keto diet. Keto diet में आप पूरे carbohydrates बंद कर देते हो और low carb में आप बहुत कम carbohydrates खाते हो. Again, being in India, it is not possible to do it for long period of time because कितने दिन तक आप दाल चावल रोटी सब्जी नहीं खाओगे. And when I'm talking about these pattern, you have to understand that you don't have to do it for a day or two. जब तक आपने ये फॉलो किया, आप वेट लॉस कर रहे हो, और ये पैटर्न को जैसे आप छोड़ोगे, आप वहीं के वहीं आ जाओगे because you have started introducing your carbs. And this is why again it is on the third of the list and it is not a very sustainable way of losing weight. Now you must be wondering कि if you are not following these patterns, what is the best possible way to lose weight when it comes to sustainability? The answer to this is stop following diets and crack your metabolism. देखो, अगर आपको weight loss करना है, it's important for you to eat in caloric deficit. Now every person in this world has a certain amount of calories that they need to eat throughout the day in order to maintain their weight, lose their weight and increase their weight. इसको हम लोग बोलते हैं maintenance calories, deficit calories and surplus calories. कैसे define होती है ये calories? It is dependent on your age, height, body weight and activity. Now this is for your knowledge. Every food that you eat, उसमें कुछ कैलोरीज होती है, और कैलोरीज में आपको मैक्रोज और माइक्रोज आते हैं. मैक्रोज में होता है प्रोटीन, कार्ब्स और फैट, और माइक्रोज में होते हैं विटामिन एंड मिनरल. नाउ वंस यू अंडरस्टैंड द बेसिक रूल ऑफ लूजिंग वेट, दैट इज ईटिंग इन कैलोरिक डेफिसिट. आपको अगर कैलोरिक डेफिसिट का नंबर पता चल गया, लेट्स से इफ इट इज 1600 फॉर यू, आपको अब देखना है कि आपको पूरे दिन में प्रोटीन, कार्ब्स और फैट कितना खाना है. और जब आपको ये पता चल जाए, यू जस्ट हैव टू डिवाइड इट इन दैट मैनर जहां पे ये सब कुछ बैलेंस तरीके से हो जाए. नाउ दिस इज द सेम अप्रोच दैट वी अप्लाइड विद आवर प्रीवियस क्लाइंट हु इज पल्लवी, हु इज अ बिजी आईटी वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल एंड शी मैनेज्ड टू लूज अराउंड 8 kgs. उनकी बिफोर आफ्टर पिक्चर्स आपकी स्क्रीन पे दिख रही होगी. वी क्रैक्ड हर मेटाबॉलिज्म, वी सॉ दैट हाउ मेनी कैलोरीज दैट शी नीड्स, और जब हमें ये समझ में आ गया, उनके स्टेपल फूड्स के साथ हम लोग ने एक न्यूट्रिशन प्लान डिजाइन किया जहां पे उनको सेपरेट खाना नहीं बनाना पड़ता था, उनको कोई टाइमिंग फॉलो नहीं करनी पड़ती थी कि इतने बजे खाना है उतने बजे नहीं. उन्होंने कोई फैट बर्नर या कुछ वैसा नहीं लिया. वॉटेवर उनके घर पे खाना बनता था वो पोर्शन कंट्रोल किया उन्होंने, एंड शी वॉज अकाउंटेबल टू मी विथ ऑन अ डेली बेसिस, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट शी मैनेज टू लूज अराउंड 8 kgs ऑफ वेट एंड शी डिडंट गेट इट बैक, राइट? सो वॉटेवर शी लॉस्ट, she is still losing it, and let's see what she has to talk about her overall weight loss journey.
So guys, so I'm here today to talk about Kush, and I got to know about Kush through one of my friends. I actually saw the transformation and I was very amazed, and I asked her that how did you manage, and she suggested me about Kush. For a very long time I was in a dilemma also if I should go for him or not, but when I reached out to him, he was very warm, and the only thing she told me was like, he will not ask you to don't eat this, don't eat that. So this was something which I was actually looking for, because I have seen a lot of the coaches who used to say don't eat this, don't eat that, but with Kush it was so easy when he gave me that, because he is just amazing. I mean, hats off to him for doing such a wonderful job.
Principle number 2, creating a balanced meal with your घर का खाना. So by now it's very much clear that when you start eating in caloric deficit, you start to lose your body fat percentage. But the next question is, once you know your caloric deficit ka number, how to decide that how much amount of protein, carbs and fat do you need for the entire day to make your meals balanced and to make your meal sustainable. So here's the answer to this. For protein, you need to consume around 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilo of your body weight. For example, if your body weight is around 68 kilos, you should aim to consume around 82 to 109 gram of protein per day. Second comes the carbohydrate. For this, we need to aim to consume around 45 to 65% of our daily calories through carbohydrates. For example, if you are having a 1500 calorie diet plan throughout the day, you should aim to consume around 168 to 244 grams of carbohydrates per day. And last comes is fat. For this, you need to aim to consume around 20 to 35% of your daily calories from fats. For example, if you are consuming around 1500 calories per day, you should aim to consume around 33 to 58 grams of fats per day. And जो आप अभी स्क्रीन पे देख रहे हो, it's a typical example of a well-balanced Indian meal that you should be having during your fat loss. Now here are few meal pictures which my clients have on daily basis, and these are all Indian desi home cooked food. And these are the foods that you also might be having, but you're not getting any results. But the point here is that why are you not able to get results? And the answer to this is very simple. It's just because you don't know how to efficiently divide your calories, or probably you don't know how many calories you should exactly be eating. Principle number 3, doing metabolic boosting workout. Now before I start talking more about this principle, let me address few misconceptions that people have when they think about workout during the fat loss process. The first thing, लोगों को लगता है कि आपको 2 से 3 घंटे तक वर्कआउट करना है जिम में when you want to lose fat. Misconception number 2, people feel that they have to do hours of cardio and a lot of abdominal crunches and exercises in order to lose their stubborn belly fat. But trust me, the reality is completely different. आपको रोज जिम जाने की जरूरत नहीं है अगर आपको फैट लॉस करना है तो. You just need to train 3 to 4 days in a week and 45 minutes of training is more than enough. In fact, you don't have to do even hours of cardio when you are trying to lose body fat percentage. कार्डियो इज जस्ट अ टूल जिसको आपको सही तरीके से यूज करना पड़ता है अपने फैट लॉस जर्नी में. अगर आपकी डाइट अच्छी है और अगर आप स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग 3 से 4 दिन कर रहे हो, then there's no point of doing so much cardio during your fat loss process. And because I work with busy professionals, उनके पास जिम जाने का डेली टाइम नहीं होता because of the hectic schedule. So I try to design their workout in such a manner कि अगर वो 3 से 4 बार भी जिम जा रहे हैं in a week, and if they are training just 30 to 40 minutes in a week, they will be able to get great results in terms of fat percentage, and they will be able to drop their fat percentage in a very efficient manner. And you know what? Here's the best part. I've also worked with clients who have not even joined gym but have managed to lose around 8 to 15 kgs over a period of 3 months by doing an activity which is so sustainable, जिसके लिए आपको कोई equipment की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है, जिसके लिए आपको कोई guidance की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है, and you can do it anytime in the day. And we are talking about walking. Now I'm sure कि after hearing this statement, बहुत लोग के दिमाग में ये क्वेश्चन चल रहा होगा कि फैट लॉस करने के लिए डेली कितना वॉक करना होगा. So here's the answer for this. Most people burn around 30 to 40 calories per 1000 steps, which means that you will burn around 300 to 400 calories by walking 10,000 steps in a day. Though every step you take burns calorie, the exact number is highly subjective. Okay, now let's take another example of my client Aditi, who is also a busy working professional, and she managed to lose around 7 kgs while eating her favorite food. And she was walking around 8 to 10,000 steps on a daily basis. And this is how she used to look before, and this is her after picture. Also meet Sagar, who is an IT guy and lost a whooping of 10 kgs over a period of 3 months. And you can literally see all the belly fat that he lost during the process. And इन्होंने भी कोई gym join नहीं किया था. This was all done through his home cooked food and walking a certain amount of steps throughout the day. Principle number 4 and most important, aiming for permanent fat loss. I'm sure कि अब तक आपको बहुत कुछ समझ में आ गया होगा, but the only question that you have right now is, चलो ठीक है, ये सब करके हम लोग ने फैट लॉस कर लिया, बट वापस तो आ जाता है ना. जैसे भी फैट लॉस करते हो वापस वो आ जाता है. बहुत लोगों के साथ ये होता है. सो व्हाट इज द मेथड दैट विल हेल्प यू टू लूज फैट परमानेंटली एंड नेवर गेन इट बैक? अगर ये क्वेश्चन आपके दिमाग में भी आ रहा है, then trust me, I have an answer for this. And here's the answer. Okay, so now what you see on the screen is a vicious cycle that people get trapped during their weight loss journey. They start their diet, put a lot of restriction about not eating carbs, following strict meal timings, or let's say cutting down on their staple foods. But after a period of time, they start feeling deprived and the craving level increases. And when this happens, they give up on their diet, which kicks a lot of guilt and disappointment. And then after a while, because of this guilt, they start their weight loss journey again. And now, if you have done dieting in the past, I'm sure you must be aware of this vicious cycle. But don't worry, today we'll learn how to break this vicious cycle. So, here's the permanent way of losing weight, which would make sure that you don't get it back ever. And trust me, this is the most sustainable way of doing it. Okay, so in step number one, we crack the metabolic code by understanding how many calories does your body need in order to lose weight, which is also called as caloric deficit. In step 2, we divide these calories into protein, carbs and fats and make it balanced. We also make sure that we are using your staple home cooked meals in accordance to your taste buds, preference and culture. So you don't have to follow a new and temporary diet plan. Now in step 3, we design a metabolic workout training which can either be at your home or gym in just 3 to 4 days in a week. And it would help you to burn calories at rest after 48 hours of your workout. And let's say if you don't want to work out, you can use walking as a source of activity. And finally, in step 4, we aim for permanent fat loss with the help of above 3 principles. This was the exact strategy which we used with our previous client Juhi to lose her 16 kg of her post-pregnancy weight. Or let's take another example of Akib, who managed to lose around 30 kgs in a matter of 6 months and got into the leanest shape of his life. Okay, so now after knowing these 4 principles, you basically have 2 choices. One, do it alone. Now when you start to learn new things and when you want to implement new things, it requires a lot of conviction and it requires a lot of dedication. Typically, a lot of people are not towards very much inclined about learning new things because they are not very sure that it will give you results. Now, being a busy working professional, आपके पास उतना time नहीं है to do a lot of research. And I'll assume that if you're watching this video training till now, I'm sure you must have already tried out so many things which didn't work for you. And you don't have that liberty जहाँ पे you can go and learn a lot of things, because fitness and nutrition is a very very vast subject जहाँ पे आपके पास बहुत कुछ है पढ़ने के लिए, and you don't have that liberty जहाँ पे you can test and try everything. The second option that you have is do it with a coach. Now when you hire a coach and when you work with a professional, you are guaranteed results because you know that there is someone who is working with you who has already done this in past. Now, if you take example of me, I have already worked with 450 busy individuals and I know what are the challenges that you are going through. So if you put your hard-earned time and efforts, I am sure that I'll be getting you results because I know what would be the pain points that you will be facing on. Moreover, you will be getting a support of a coach who will make you accountable and who will be motivating you on a daily basis so that you chase your results and you don't have to do any trial and error method. And according to Warren Buffett, time is a very valuable asset. So if you are a busy working professional or a business owner, you know that you don't have that much time where you want to do all this trial and error method. So if you are very much serious about your health goals or you want to look a certain way in a certain amount of time, it's always beneficial for you to do it with a coach because you will be guaranteed results and you don't have to do any experiment whatsoever. Well, at this moment, I don't want to bore you by showing more transformation because I have almost 300 of them. And you can go to my Instagram page and watch them later at your free time. But at this moment, I want to give you an opportunity to personally get in touch with me by booking a free consultation call, which is usually charged 1000. But since you are an action taker and you have watched the video training till now, I'm sure that you are interested to know more about how can this structure work for you. So this is basically what will be happening on the consultation call. Your main challenges that you are facing currently in terms of losing fat will be discussed in deep. Based on your challenges, I would give you strategies and suggestions that would be a game changer in your entire fat loss journey, and trust me, you will get a complete clarity on how the fat loss process works. Lastly, we'll also discuss on creating the most sustainable nutrition plan and workout plan which you have ever imagined, which would help you to lose fat for one last time in your entire life. Hence, this free consultation call will be a game changer for you in every aspect. But let me be very clear that it is only for people who are struggling to lose weight and who want to do it in the most sustainable manner. This is not for people who want quick fixes and who are not ready to invest on their health and fitness. Hence, if you are looking for shortcuts, please don't consider this is not for you. But on the other side, if you have been struggling from a long period of time and you want to lose weight in the most sustainable manner without any quick fixes and you want to do it for the last time in your life, consider clicking on the link below, book a call with me, and I'll see you guys on the other side.